Today, I'm going to be aerating chocolate, which I think is quite funny, considering that you spend so much time when you're tempering chocolate trying to keep the bubbles out of it so that you get a nice uniform, no streaks, no air bubbles product. We're actually going to try and put air bubbles in to the chocolate today, just like an Aero or a Wispa bar. For those of you from Britain and Canada who grew up eating them, they're fabulous, and they make the chocolate all nice and bubbly and smooth, and it actually melts faster on your tongue, is the idea. So this is really more like a science experiment than anything else, is what it feels like, because there's a lot of gear that's required and you have to go lightning fast at some point. So I'm going to do a dry run first of all, and then we'll do the actual thing. So I have a pound of very good quality Calabo milk chocolate, just sitting over some warm water so that it's not too hot. I have a whipped cream siphon into which the chocolate and 2 ounces of walnut oil, for some reason it's called a groundnut oil, even though it's a tree nut, are going to go. And walnut oil doesn't impart any taste to the chocolate, so it's great. It actually apparently helps the chocolate hold on to the bubbles. So that's why we're adding that, and it also makes it flow. We want to keep this chocolate flowing, because once it's in the whipped cream siphon, it is going to get the lid banged on, and then I'm going to shove 3 cartridges, 3 gas cartridges, into the whipped cream siphon as quickly as possible. Run over here, hell-bent for leather, scoosh the whole thing into this plastic box. Ooh, good thing I did this. Put the lid on, tight-fitting lid, seal the clamps. There's a hole that I've made with a corkscrew in the top of this box. You don't want the hole to be too big. The whole thing then goes in this bag. This is a space bag, one of those clothing storage bags, but it has a valve in the top, is the difference. Lining the valve up with the hole in the top of the box, closing it up, making sure that there's no air coming in and going out. Vacuum cleaner, just a home vacuum cleaner, on over the valve. Turning it on. So this is going to go tight to the sides. Whack the valve closed, and then it goes in the fridge for an hour, is the idea. Let's see if it works. Okay, so there we go. I've got my siphon. I have my 2 ounces of walnut oil that I'm now just going to add to this chocolate. This beautifully tempered milk chocolate. And I'm going to get that oil in, which is great because it makes the chocolate nice and flowy, if that's a word. I'm going to mix that together. They had, on Chef Heston Blumenthal's video, they had some lovely, sort of fast-paced music going on behind all this that made it look even more dynamic. Okay, and then I'm going to put this into the measuring cup, just because I find it's just so much easier to get it into the, I keep wanting to call the soda siphon, into the whipped cream siphon from the measuring cup, because there's a much smaller spout and more goes in the siphon and not down the sides. Okay. Right. Okay, I think that's all we're going to get, because I hate wasting this stuff, because it's, it's like gold. So here we go. Alrighty. Oh. Okay, mix, mix, mix. That is hot. And into the whipped cream siphon, the 1 pound of chocolate and 2 ounces of walnut oil goes. That's a really nice organic filtered walnut oil, so there's no yuck that's going to go in there and affect the taste at all. It's not refined or anything like that. Okay, I think that's good. I think that's all she wrote. Ba-da. Of course, I'm still making a mess. And I'm going to just wipe down the sides a little bit just to make sure we've got an actual tight seal. And away we go. Okay, lid goes on. I'm going to try and go quickly but not rush this time. Okay, so the lid is on. That feels tight. That all feels good. first one going in. That sounded good. I'm very, very pleased about that. Okay. And number 2. Ah! Sounding good. Okay. They get very cold once they're spent, so that's the way you can tell the spent ones from the ones you haven't done yet. And number 3. Okay. Now, could just be that it's just like, what? You're putting 3 in one container? Okay, good. Here we go. Right. Shake, 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 which I forgot to do last time as well too. And here we go. Oh man, it really does splat. Whoa! Ah! And of course the phone is going, but we're going to ignore it. And we're going to put the lid on. And here we go. Get it lined up with the valve. Close the bag. This is where all this Zen and yoga and meditation comes in. And get the vacuum on top of the bag. Okay, that looks like a tight seal tight to the bag. I think it might have worked. I'm not sure. We've got a pretty tight seal there. It definitely seems to me like this is more bubbly than it was last time. So that's a good thing. So now it's going into the fridge for an hour. And we'll see if we end up with bubbly chocolate. Oh, I feel just like Julia Child. Okay, so I'm going to unzip the bag. No, I don't need to do that. I'm going to just open the airlock. It's very science fiction-y. Okay. And slide the box out of the bag. It's been sitting there, vacuum sealed, this little valve thing. Okay. It looks to me like it's bubbly on the top, but let's see. It looks kind of bubbly. So now I'm going to cut into it and see if I can hold up a wedge. See if it looks like an Aero or a Wispa bar.